Tonight, the images coming in, Israel expanding its ground attacks into southern Gaza. Also, the U.S. with a deadly strike on militants who the Pentagon says were about to target U.S. forces. Here in the U.S. tonight, holiday shopping turning deadly at a Macy's, and the Boston woman killed by a shark on vacation. First tonight here, Israel's war with Hamas, the ground offensive moving south. Where are civilians to go after being told to go south for their safety? Tonight, the leaflets with safe zones on them. The harrowing images coming in now. Soufi Burridge in Israel. Tonight, the U.S. with a deadly drone strike on militants in Iraq. The Pentagon says they were about to target American forces. Martha Raddatz standing by with late reporting. Here in the U.S., the holiday shopping that turned deadly at a Macy's in Philadelphia. The deadly stabbing attack when the suspect returns to the store. The tanker truck explosion forcing evacuations. A propane truck crashing into a bridge and bursting into flames. A former U.S. ambassador tonight charged with secretly working for Cuba for more than 4 decades. Tonight, Pierre Thomas with what the FBI now claims. To the weather and the whiplash in the east, the cold blasts coming, and in the west, the flooding concerns now, then several feet of snow from the systems hitting the northwest. Ginger Z standing by to time this all out. Tonight, authorities say a Boston woman in her 40s killed by a shark while on vacation in the Bahamas. A suspected serial killer in Los Angeles. The suspect allegedly killing multiple people over several days, including a father of 2 who he allegedly followed home and killed in his garage. By authorities say his crime spree likely did not begin just recently. The deadly volcano eruption, the images tonight, authorities say 11 hikers found dead. And this evening here, the harrowing images, the survivors covered in ash. And back home, it was a Christmas song written in 1958. Tonight, it is suddenly #1 for the first time. Can you name the song and the woman who sang it? Tonight, her Christmas victory, long overdue.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It is great to start another week with all of you at home. We do begin tonight with Israel moving south in Gaza with its ground offensive. Many Palestinian civilians who have been told to go south for their safety now on the move again. Also tonight, the Pentagon now reporting that the U.S. has taken defensive action in the region, launching a deadly strike on militants who the Pentagon says were preparing to attack U.S. forces. Tonight, meanwhile, in Gaza, Israel with a fierce aerial assault in southern Gaza, just as it did in the north. New satellite images obtained tonight showing Israeli military vehicles staging in the south there, signaling the ground invasion has begun. Israel's troops now engaged in close combat once again, and Israel warning Palestinians to move, this time to safe zones in the south. Israel dropping leaflets showing where to go. The harrowing images coming in, this family seen running and dodging bullets where witnesses believe there was supposed to be an evacuation route. And tonight, with this ground offensive now moving south in Gaza and that temporary ceasefire long over, what about the hostages that remain? ABC's Soufi Burridge in Israel leading us off.
Tonight, civilians caught in the crossfire, with Israel expanding its ground war, pushing deeper into southern Gaza. Palestinians ducking for cover, a family, including that young boy, running for their lives. As bullets pierce the air around them. This was supposed to be an evacuation route. As new satellite images show Israeli military vehicles staging in the south, a sign that their ground invasion into southern Gaza has officially begun. We watched as the IDF pounded Gaza today.
Well, we're witnessing a really heavy and constant bombardment into the Gaza Strip. You can see smoke in the distance, airstrikes, artillery.
Hospitals overwhelmed, children treated on the ground outside. Ibrahim rushing his injured 2-month-old son Adnan into the ER, saying his family fled south just like they were asked, only to dodge more bombs. What can we do, he asks. Every day we die 1 million deaths. Tonight, an Israeli military official saying its forces are now moving to encircle the key southern city of Khan Yunis. And after weeks of telling people to move south where they were told they would be safe, Israel now insisting they are warning people already there, dropping these leaflets with links to maps, urging people to move to designated safe zones. Our producer Sami Zara forced to move his family for the 17th time since the war began.
We don't know what to do. There is no safe place at all in Gaza.
We pressed the IDF today on the level of suffering.
UNICEF says that even in some of those designated safe zones, children are getting hit and badly injured and killed.
We want civilians not to be in the area where we're fighting. We want to focus our firepower on Hamas and Hamas only.
And at the United Nations today, Israel presenting evidence they say proves Hamas militants committed crimes of sexual violence as a weapon of war on October 7th. Yoni Sardon survived the festival massacre, telling a British newspaper he saw, quote, a beautiful woman with the face of an angel and 8 or 10 of the fighters beating and raping her.
Their goal is to annihilate Israel. We have no other choice but to eliminate Hamas thoroughly.
So let's bring in Tom Soufi Burridge. He's in Tel Aviv tonight. And Tom, we know that temporary ceasefire now, of course, long over. So what more have we learned about the more than 100 hostages, including the Americans, of course, who remain in captivity with this new assault now underway?
David, given the scale of fighting and intense bombardment of Gaza today, the fate of those remaining hostages is really uncertain. Negotiations for their release have halted. The hostages' families due to meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tomorrow. David?
Tom Soufi Burridge leading us off in Tel Aviv tonight. Tom, our thanks to you. And as I mentioned off the top tonight, the Pentagon now says that the U.S. has taken new defensive action in the Middle East. A deadly U.S. drone strike tonight, this time in Iraq, targeting militants who the Pentagon says were about to target American forces. Here's Martha Raddatz.
Tonight, the Pentagon revealing it conducted a deadly drone strike on militants in Iraq who the U.S. says were planning to launch a drone attack on American forces. 5 of the Iranian-backed militants were killed. It came as a U.S. destroyer in the Red Sea spent more than 7 hours on Sunday responding to multiple attacks. It began at 9:15 a.m. local time. The Pentagon said the USS Carney tracked a ballistic missile fired from Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen, landing in the waters near the cargo ship Unity Explorer. At 12 p.m., the Carney detects a drone from Yemen heading in its direction, the Navy crew shooting it down. 35 minutes later, the Unity Explorer under fire again. This time, the missile hits the ship. The Carney responds as another inbound drone is detected and shot down. At 3:30 p.m., a third ballistic missile hits another cargo ship. There is damage reported, but no casualties. 1 hour later, a fourth ballistic missile hits a third cargo vessel. Again, the Carney racing to this ship to render aid as yet another drone is launched in the Carney's direction and shot down. The Pentagon blaming Iran for enabling these attacks using some of the strongest language we've heard about Iran. But it is unlikely the U.S. will retaliate against Iran directly for these attacks, given that the Pentagon says they do not believe the USS Carney was an intended target, although Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor, made clear that any response by the U.S. will be at a time and place of its choosing. David?
All right, Martha Raddatz live in Washington. Martha, thank you as always. We're going to turn now to the other major news this Monday night, into the deadly attack at a Macy's department store in downtown Philadelphia, right in the middle of the holiday shopping season. Here's Stephanie Ramos tonight.
Tonight, with the busy holiday shopping season underway, one security guard is now dead and another one injured after a violent stabbing at a Philadelphia department store.
Stabbing at Macy's.
According to police, around 10:45 this morning, a security guard confronted a man attempting to steal multiple hats inside the Center City Macy's. The man leaving the area, but returning 15 minutes later, armed with a knife.
He immediately goes straight towards one of the security guards and then redirects his attention to a second security guard, runs directly to that security guard with a knife already exposed and begins to stab him.
The suspect running from the scene, apprehended moments later at a train station. Authorities say the 2 security guards were not armed. One of them, 30 years old, stabbed in the neck. The other, 23 years old, stabbed in the face and arm. Both were rushed to the hospital. The 30-year-old later dying from his injuries.
David, this store remains temporarily closed. Macy's saying in a statement, the safety and security of their customers and colleagues is their top priority. The interim police commissioner says this location has been hit hard by retail theft, with more than 250 reports filed just this year. David.
Stephanie Ramos in Philadelphia tonight. Steph, thank you. Next tonight, here the fiery explosion, the crash of a tanker truck hauling propane, slamming into a bridge in Irisburg, Vermont, about 20 miles from the Canadian border. Everyone tonight within a mile told to evacuate. Here's ABC's Trevor Jacob now.
Tonight, terrifying video shows the flames roaring after that tanker truck hauling 10,000 gallons of propane crashed into a Vermont bridge as a snowstorm moved through.
Report of a TT unit carrying propane that's gone off the road into the river and has exploded.
It happened just before 7 this morning in the town of Irisburg, only miles from the Canadian border.
Heard this huge, loud, explosion bang, and it actually shook our house.
Megan Shelifo lives just feet away.
I opened up my shades and saw that the opposite side of our bridge, which is right by our driveway, was totally engulfed.
Multiple agencies rushing to the scene, fearing an even larger explosion, evacuating a 1-mile radius. 2 schools dismissing early. Authorities using a drone to monitor the still engulfed tanker on its side.
The road conditions, as everyone knows, were terrible this morning.
The crash happening as the region received more than a half a foot of snow in spots.
And David, so far no one's been reported injured, not even the driver, but officials say this tanker is likely to burn through the night, meaning many people can't come home amid those fears of another explosion. David.
All right, Trevor rolled on this tonight. Trevor, thank you. We're going to turn now to the weather and the big chill on the way for the eastern half of the country. In the west, a dangerous atmospheric river targeting much of the west with up to 10 inches of rain, real flooding concerns, and several feet of snow in some places. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z with us on a Monday night. Ginger?
Hey there, David. More than 4 feet of snow fell over the weekend in some parts of the northern Rockies. So now we're going to add even more snow to that. And at the coast, yes, that detrimental rain. And I say that because so many people had the snow, especially into the Cascades or the Olympics. And then you're going to take those snow elevations and lower them. And so we're going to end up seeing rain on top of the snow that fell. The flooding in the rivers could reach dangerous levels. And this threat really goes for coastal Oregon up through the Cascades into Washington state through Wednesday. Into the Rockies, it's going to be about that added 1 to 2 feet. Some avalanche danger in Colorado yet tonight. And then East Coast, you know, over the weekend, Florida was breaking high temperature records, but we're going to cool right down teens and 20s up in the Northeast by Thursday, David.
A little whiplash in the east. All right, Ginger, we'll see you first thing in the morning on GMA. Thank you. Tonight, there is news coming in. A Boston woman in her 40s was killed during a shark attack in the Bahamas. Here's ABC's Victor Oquendo.
Tonight, the shocking scene in the Bahamas. An American tourist killed by a shark this morning while paddleboarding near the popular Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort in New Providence. Police saying the woman was visiting from Boston. She was about 3/4 of a mile offshore when she was attacked. A lifeguard racing out to the victim in a rescue boat, bringing her and a male relative back to the beach.
CPR was administered to the victim. However, she suffered serious injuries to the right side of her body, including the right hip region and also her right upper limb.
The woman, who police say was in her 40s, did not survive. Although rare, most shark attacks in the Caribbean occur in the Bahamas. Just last month, a 47-year-old tourist from Germany was killed during a diving expedition. And in June, Heidi Ernst, a tourist from Iowa, lost her leg while scuba diving when a shark attacked. Sandals saying they are deeply saddened by their guest's tragic passing and are providing all support possible. David?
Victor Oquendo reporting tonight. Victor, thank you. We turn now to the former American ambassador to Bolivia, who all these years later is now accused of being a secret agent of the Cuban government. The FBI claims he was a secret agent for more than 40 years. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, the stunning claim by the FBI that Cuba's communist regime had a mole inside the U.S. government for decades.
Falsely pledging loyalty to the United States while serving a foreign power is a crime that will be met with the full force of the Justice Department.
Victor Manuel Rocha rose through the ranks of the State Department, including a stint as a top diplomat in Havana before becoming the U.S. ambassador to Bolivia. He also held a highly sensitive position on the National Security Council. But the Attorney General says at least since 1981, Rocha was really working for Fidel Castro's Cuba in one of the highest-reaching and longest-lasting infiltrations of the U.S. government by a foreign agent. Last year, the FBI became suspicious of Rocha and sent an undercover agent posing as a Cuban intelligence officer to make contact. Rocha allegedly quickly confiding in the agent that his entire diplomatic career was at the direction of Cuba. Quote, "I went little by little. It was a very meticulous process, very disciplined." The FBI saying Rocha, now 73, called the U.S. the enemy, bragging to the agent, "What we have done, it's enormous, more than a grand slam. It was decades."
U.S. officials are trying to determine what classified information Rocha may have given the Cubans. Thus far, they make no allegations that he betrayed his country for money, but instead they say he was a true believer, doing it to help the Cuban Communist Revolution. David?
What a story all these years later. Pierre Thomas tonight in Washington. Thank you, Pierre. In Los Angeles tonight, a suspected serial killer is now accused of killing 4 people over 4 days, including a father who authorities say he followed home and killed in his garage. Here's ABC's Kana Whitworth.
Tonight, police in Los Angeles are investigating whether a suspected serial killer charged for the murders of homeless victims is linked to other cases.
Based on his criminal history, he didn't just start doing this a week ago.
Prosecutors say 33-year-old Jared Powell killed 4 men over 4 days, 3 victims while they were sleeping on the streets.
It was chilling, the cold-blooded manner in which he walks up and shoots this individual without any hesitation.
Police say Powell followed his 4th victim home, robbing and killing the father of 2 in his own garage. Investigators using a controversial technology to track their suspect after his car was captured on an automated license plate reader.
We know there's controversy out there about the usage of this system. If we did not enter that plate into this system, this individual that we believe is responsible may have been out there and reoffended.
Authorities here in Beverly Hills say essentially they have a perimeter around the city, and almost every license plate is checked with more than 2,400 cameras and 70 license plate readers. The police chief calls it precision policing. Do you hear from people about privacy concerns over these cameras?
So in this community, I don't hear any concerns. This community is very happy to have the Real-Time Watch Center and this technology.
Well, here in Los Angeles, authorities are also concerned that there might be more victims. So they're reaching out to all of their partners in the region. They're asking them to review their past homicide cases and see if any fit this profile. David?
Kana Whitworth reporting in Los Angeles. Kana, thank you. When we come back here, the young man sentenced to federal prison tonight for intentionally crashing his own plane in the U.S., all to record it. What the judge has now decided. The images tonight, authorities say 11 hikers found dead, and the harrowing pictures, the survivors of this covered in ash. And then later here tonight, the Christmas song, 65 years old, you'll know it, finally #1 tonight. Tonight, a YouTube star has been sentenced to 6 months in federal prison for intentionally crashing his plane in the mountains of Santa Barbara. Authorities say Trevor Jacob recording himself parachuting out of his plane fitted with cameras. They say crashing it on purpose to get more views. He has pleaded guilty to obstruction, deliberately crashing his plane and destroying the evidence. When we come back here tonight, the deadly volcanic eruption and the images coming in now of the survivors of this covered in ash. And then the singer who is 78, her famous Christmas song, finally #1 tonight. To the index tonight and the deadly volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Authorities say 11 hikers were found dead near the volcano's crater, many still missing. Tonight, some hikers, the survivors, getting out, look at them covered in ash. They've been safely evacuated tonight. That ash shooting nearly 2 miles into the air. Just incredible. When we come back here tonight, the Christmas song that you're not going to believe was never #1 until tonight. Finally tonight, she was 13 when she recorded it. Tonight, Brenda Lee's Christmas song, finally #1. Tonight, one of the most famous Christmas songs that never made it to #1 until now.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, released in 1958 by Brenda Lee. She was just 13 years old when she recorded it. Tonight, 65 years after it was released, it's the #1 single on Billboard Top 100. The oldest song ever to grab the top spot.
Voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the halls with boughs of holly.
And Brenda Lee at 78 now with this new music video.
Have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old band.
And she actually remembers recording the song at 13. It was in the summer in Nashville. They decorated the studio like Christmas.
I'll never forget. I walked in the studio, had all the lights turned down, the air conditioning on, was on full blast. The Christmas tree there was all lit up.
Tonight, the song going viral on TikTok and on social media, marking 65 years since it was recorded. All That Talk taking it straight to #1. Tonight at #2, Mariah Carey and All I Want for Christmas Is You. And so for now, it's Brenda Lee at 78, who is #1 on the charts.
I know you're there, and you've been there since I was 10 years old. I love you, I thank you, and I wish you the very merriest of Christmases.
Brenda Lee, #1 tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.